Hey everyone, it's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Relax.Cut.Glue. If you're new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you all here with me today. So today I'm going to be playing in my Big Random Glue book. This is a sketchbook that I picked up at Michael's Craft Store. It's their brand, Artist Loft, and it's 8.5 by 11. And I believe I paid like $5 or $6 for it. They go on sale all the time. And not only do they go on sale, but sometimes they're buy one, get one free, or buy one, get one 50% off. So definitely check them out. Any sketchbook works. You could use any sketchbook. And the reason why I like to use sketchbooks is because they're ring bound and they have usually a little bit sturdier paper and you get a lot of sheets for your money. So check them out. And if you're at the store and you're looking for a sketchbook and you're like, man, these are so expensive, which they can be, but they can also be very inexpensive, check the children's section. The children's arts and crafts, there's always a little drawing pad or sketch pad or something there, and they are much cheaper. And it's basically the same thing. So, and then Dollar Tree has a few sketchbooks right now that are ring bound. They're a little bit smaller. But if you're on a budget, that's a great way to go. But yeah, I just really like using these. They work really well for glue books, because the page opens, the book opens flat, but it tongue-tied. So what was I going to say here? Big Random Glue Book. Big Random Glue Book is a glue book that I came up with years ago to kind of help me get more comfortable with glue booking. And it ended up being one of my all-time favorite glue books. It's also probably one of my most popular glue books. And basically what I did is I had so many square and rectangle images from magazines, and I could go through a magazine and find just tons of square and rectangular images that I could use, tons, and way more than fussy cuts. And I needed to use them, and I didn't know how any other way. So I just started gluing them randomly and then adding some stuff on top, and it worked for me. And it was a great way to practice. It was a great way to relax and ease my anxiety, which is a huge, huge part of why I glue book. And why I glue booked before I started YouTube, was to help with my anxiety. And I'm a crafter. I've always been a crafter, and art has always been my saving grace, I guess. You know, it's what helps me get through things. So my process for this is, and keep this in mind, this is just my process. You could absolutely make it your own. In fact, I encourage you to do so. But if you're just starting out and you want to try my method and see if that helps you, that would be a great way to start out. And I'm sure you'll evolve into making some changes that are either more your style or that you prefer. So I take a few larger images, and I usually only put one or two down. And by larger, I mean I don't want them any bigger than about a quarter of the page or a third of the page. So they're large, but not too large. Like, I don't want them covering up the whole page. And then I put down a few medium squares and rectangles sized images, and then I go in with some smaller ones. And when I'm done with that, if there are any gaps left over, I fill them in with either washi tape, fussy cuts, or words. And then if there's not anything to fill up, why is this Amazon driver walking in my grass? What is he doing? Where'd he come from? He's like running from down the street. He's running and he's holding up his pants. Poor guy. Okay. Sorry, that just really threw me off because normally somebody doesn't come from my right and start running up my grass. That was really bizarre. Probably didn't seem very bizarre to you, but if you had seen it, you would understand. Anyways, I digress. So after I've added my large, medium, small images, I go back and I add, like I said, washi tape to fill up any spots, which I love to do because we all have tons of it. Okay, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us do. And you can find it at the Dollar Tree, and it's colorful and it's fun and it's inexpensive and it's super easy way to add pops of color into your glue books. And then after that, I go through and I add fussy cuts and words. And sometimes they go with what I'm working with and sometimes they don't. And I pick my words based on their font, their color, their background color, or if they're like funny or weird or something to that effect. So I don't make them match. And I know this style is not for everyone, and it doesn't have to be. But it really works well for me, and I really, really enjoy it. And once you just say to yourself that random is my theme and let your guard down and just glue it down, trust the process, I guarantee in the end you'll be more happy with it than you think you will be. And if not, then you know what, maybe it's not for you. And that's totally okay too. We're all different. So do what works for you. And a lot of times I'll use these images that I've had for a long time that I haven't used yet. And they're like the guy on the bottom right there, his image was starting to get wrinkly and, you know, the edges were getting a little frayed. Not frayed, that's not the right word. You know what I mean? Just, it's been through some hands. I've dug through my bin quite a few times and it's starting to see some wear and tear. So I needed to glue it down. And I tend to pick images that are colorful, bright, funny, interesting, odd, you know, that kind of stuff. That's what I gravitate towards. But you can still do this style with other themes. I've done lots of those. Even in this glue book, you can see some where I'll do like a color theme or an animal theme, dog theme, you know, that kind of stuff. And just find all the random images I have that kind of match that. I have the Shermanator in here. He was snoring, but I was rocking out to Steve Miller Band and he decided that he needed to wake up because he wanted to join the party. I need like oh, it's so funny. So the other night I was in here in my craft room at night and I have some like rope lights at the top of my really tall shelves in here. So it just kind of illuminates my room at night and it's so cozy. I love it. So I had those on or whatever. And Sherman always has to be wherever I am. Sherman is my pug, if you guys are wondering who that is. And so he like guards me, or like he'll sit right at my door to where he can see people coming and going and like guard my door. I don't know. It's hilarious. So Andrew walks in. He's like, "Oh, you got your bouncer here?" It's like, it looks like a club in my craft room with all these lights on, like mood lighting. And then I've got my bouncer sitting at the front of my craft room. It's just, dang it. It's not as funny. You had to have seen it. It was really cute. And it's really funny because he looks like a little bouncer. He's just a little meatball. He's such a good boy. He got his nails cut the other day and he did a good job. And they did a good job, thank goodness. Ugh, Sherman. He does not like his nails cut at all. And then we have Xena, who's totally passive and sweet and will do whatever you tell her to do. And we should just cut her nails. But sometimes you just, I don't know. It's just so quick when they do it, you know. So we just take her in and they're like, snip, snip, snip. They're like, she's so well behaved. We're like, well, you should see our other one. He is Cujo. Sherman turns into Poltergeist when you have to cut his nails. So I'm going to add some washi here, which makes no sense because I'm going to cover it up here in a second. But I'm just going with the flow, and it's totally fine that I ended up covering it up. I really didn't like it right there anyways because it was a white background washi, so you could see through the page. And is that a big deal? No, but it bothered me. So, I mean, I would have left it had I not found something to go there. But you know. So this page is, well, when I'm done with it, you might feel like it's pretty cluttered, but it's less cluttered to me. I didn't have a lot of my little tiny fussy cuts like sitting right next to me. I really need to fussy cut. I have not had like a sit down session in a long time, and I need to cut up stuff. I'm running out. So normally I would add a lot more little bits and bobs, and I just didn't. And sometimes I'm that way. I keep things a little bit more plain. That watch I've had forever. So excited to finally glue it down. So these are one of those pages where, you know, I'm all right with the outcome. It's not my favorite. Well, I'm looking at it right now. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you're done with a page, you're like, oh, I love it. And other times you're like, I had fun, but it's meh. That's kind of how I feel today. But the point is, I had fun. And what's really interesting for me, I guess, is that sometimes when I come back and look at it after I haven't looked at it for a while, like either the next day or even a month from now, I end up liking it a lot more than I do in the moment. It grows on me for some reason. So I don't know. For me, random glue booking isn't always the composition or the end outcome. It's really more of like a therapy session, a relax meditation type situation for me. So I don't put that kind of pressure on myself. That is a lie. And if you've been with me for any amount of time, you know that I put pressure on myself, but I try not to. And I ease up on myself more with the random gluing, which is why I tend to do it so much, because I feel less pressure. I had really bad anxiety over the weekend. Oh my gosh. Just been driving me nuts. I've had that image for a long time too. Very excited to put that bad boy down. Today I woke up and I just wanted to just glue. I didn't want to think. So I thought about making a masterboard because I like to just glue paper. Do you ever just get in that mood where you're like, I don't even care what it is. I just want to glue paper. Please tell me I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. What am I saying? There's so many of you that are like that. That's why we're all here. That's why we're all in this community. It just is so fun. I love it. California knows how to party. California knows how to party. Now I'm just kind of playing around with my little tiny basket of fussy cuts that I have here. And they're all kind of bigger ones because I've been working in not only my composition notebook random glue book, but also my paper bag glue book that's random, that's really big. So I needed like bigger fussy cut things. So I do. I need to sit down and just do some serious fussy cutting. That is a little like melted lemon candle. So random. This page, I'm really putting down a lot of images that I've had for some time. Some I've only had for a few weeks, but I'm already sick of looking at. Not in a bad way, but like I needed to glue them down. Plus this forces me to cut some more. You know what I mean? I wish more people liked the fussy cutting ASMR where I don't talk, I just sit and I cut the papers and you hear the sounds of the cutting of the paper and just kind of watch me fussy cut. Because I do have quite a few people that do ask for that, but it wasn't like a fan favorite, so I haven't done that in a long time. But man, that would be a video. I would watch that. I love watching people cut stuff up. That sounds wrong. Not like in a Dexter kind of way or a Hannibal Lecter kind of way, but paper. I like watching people cut paper. I don't know. It's just like mesmerizing to me. But, why listen to me? I also like watching pimple popping videos. I might not be the best one to recommend relaxing videos. At night, Andrew and I watch like funny fails and stuff on the TV. And it is such a great way to like end the night. We laugh so hard. Like every night we laugh so hard. It's just so good for you to just laugh. And especially at the end of the day, you're tired, you've got the whole day on your shoulders and you can just like let loose and laugh. And especially when you're with your kid. I mean, he's a grown man, but he's still my kid. We just... And it's so funny because sometimes we get annoyed by the same thing. So all we have to do is look at each other and oh my gosh. And then if one starts laughing, the other one starts laughing. It's just a good time. I highly recommend watching funny videos to boost your mood. My parents always used to tease me in a fun way because I would be in my room watching America's Funniest Home Videos. And you guys have heard my laugh. I would just cackle. And I'd be in my room laughing all by myself. My parents are like, oh, she's watching Funniest Home Videos. I've always loved to laugh. It's so good for you. Now I'm just adding some random words. They mean absolutely nothing, but I like the color or the font or that kind of stuff. So, and I may come back and add a few extra little things here and there. I like how I added the mustache over the lip face that I put on that kid. I don't know why, it just kind of, and it looks nothing like him, but it kind of reminds me of Einstein, you know, the pictures of him with his tongue sticking out. That's what that kind of reminds me of. I just saw a video on YouTube the other day where they took a video of Einstein talking and they made it into color. How weird was it to actually see him talking and hear his voice? Because you see so much about him, but you don't really get to see, because obviously he was, you know, on this earth so long ago. But I mean, not like dinosaur a long time ago, but you know what I mean? Technology has come a long way since then. So I don't know. Yeah, it was just really, really fun to see and hear him. It was fascinating. He's a very interesting man. I'm just digging through. This is kind of like a fussy cut box that has like stuff I don't use in it. I mean, I do use it. That's why I'm digging through it. But this is like the last of my little bit of supply that I have left, you know? So it's a lot of the stuff in there. I'm just kind of like, yeah. And look at this. This got all mangled because I've had it in there forever. So I'm just trying to use these because I don't want them to get ripped. I spend all the time cutting them up. Just a reminder that tomorrow is Glue Crew Video Wednesday, so there will be no video on my main channel just for the Glue Crew. If you would like to know what the Glue Crew is or sign up for it, there's a link down in the description box down below. But that is going to conclude today's video, you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. I appreciate it so much. Have a fabulous day. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you guys on Thursday. Glue Crew, I will see you tomorrow. Bye, friends.